I work in a retirement home. It's a quiet place. A bit old. My job often requires me to go down to the basement with a cart full of dirty laundry. That means I have to take the elevator up and down several times a day. I've done this so many times that I've honestly lost count. It's routine now. The elevator, the laundry room, the mechanical sound of the basement, all of it. And in all those hundreds of trips, I've never seen or heard anything out of the ordinary. Not once. Not even at night. That is, until today. You see, in this retirement home, the basement isn't just laundry machines and storage. Among the random storage rooms, janitor closets, and utility spaces, there's one particular door, heavy metal, with fading paint and a tarnished nameplate. Behind that door, a morgue. A temporary morgue, to be exact. It's located directly opposite the elevator. You can't miss it when the doors open. I've been working here for years, and not once has that room ever been opened. It's always locked. Always. No one ever goes in. No one ever comes out. As far as I knew, it was just an old relic of the building's past. Today was a particularly busy day, the kind where you don't have time to breathe, let alone feel scared. It was broad daylight. I got in the elevator, rode down like usual, emptied the dirty laundry into the designated bins, and then walked back to the elevator to call it down again. Someone else had taken it up, so I pressed the button and waited. Nothing unusual, but the elevator didn't come down. I could hear voices above me, through the thin metal doors, two of my co-workers, chatting casually. The elevator shaft carries sound in strange ways. It echoes and distorts everything. Even from the basement, you can hear what's being said up on the third floor. I stood there, tapping my foot. Seconds passed, then a full minute. I was getting irritated. I had no time to spare. And it was obvious they were just standing there, holding the elevator, probably without realizing someone was waiting below. So I knocked on the elevator door. Just a few quick raps, nothing aggressive, just enough to let them know, hey, someone's down here, send it back down. But they didn't respond. No movement, no acknowledgement, nothing. So this time I decided to knock again, but not just randomly. I knocked in a distinct pattern, a little rhythm, something that would stand out, something they'd notice, loud. And that's when it happened. Just about 5 seconds after my knock, I heard knocking back. But this wasn't coming from the elevator. It wasn't above me. It was somewhere close to me. I froze. The basement was empty. I could feel the chill rise up the back of my neck as I slowly turned around. There was nothing there, nothing obvious anyway, and then I heard it again. The sound was coming from the morgue. I took a few hesitant steps forward, and that's when I knew. The knocking, it was coming from inside that door, inside that morgue that's never been used, that no one ever enters, that's always locked. But it didn't sound like rattling pipes or some vague creaking of the walls. No, it was unmistakably knuckles on a door, a response to my knock. I stood there, paralyzed. My heart was pounding, felt like I was going to faint. My skin had turned to ice. My rational brain tried to make sense of it. Maybe it's a pipe, maybe it's just a weird echo, maybe anything else. But deep down, I knew exactly what it sounded like. And I didn't want to find out who or what was on the other side. My instincts screamed at me to take the stairs and get the hell out of there, but my legs wouldn't move. I just stood there staring at the door as the knocking grew fainter and then stopped. Then I heard it, the sound of the elevator finally arriving. I've never been more relieved to hear that mechanical ding in my life. I scrambled inside, slammed the button for the third floor. Not once, not twice, but at least 20 times. The doors took forever to close, but eventually, mercifully, they shut. As the elevator began to rise, I didn't even look back. Maybe, just maybe, there's an explanation for it all. I know. People will say, old buildings make weird noises, or it was probably the pipes. Maybe that's all it was. But why right after I knocked? I've worked in that building for years. I've been in that basement 1,000 times. But that day was different. And since then, every time I press the elevator button to go down, a small voice in my head whispers, what if I hear the knocks again?